Hello, my friends, and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to come on and do a reading, and I felt called to this deck. I think I've only used this deck twice, but I was thinking about this deck today, so I felt really called to it. So we're going to see what Spirit wants you to know about your current love situation, and please use your own discernment. Don't make it fit. You'll know if it's your reading or not. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut the deck. And let's see what we have. We have toxic incompatibility, painful love, wave of emotions, worry, fear, love, hate dynamic, emotionally unstable, twin flames. Oh my gosh. Twin flames, transformative love, mirror souls, intense soul connection. So it feels like this twin flame connections are complicated. They're not fairy tale romance. Like some people, when I first started on my journey, I thought it was like this fairy tale romance, but it's not. It is a journey that is meant to help you heal trauma that you've held on to your entire life. It's meant to help you finally heal those wounds, and it can be, you know, it can come with a wave of emotions, worry, fear, love, hate dynamic, emotionally unstable. So right away, Spirit's hitting us with that. And I don't know if you noticed, but I have these two little black and white kitties over here. So I'm actually not surprised I saw that twin flame card. So I do channel a lot of soul contracts, like complicated soul contracts. So let's see what we're dealing with here. We have unfazed, don't care, not affected, detached. That could be you right now. You could resonate with that love-hate dynamic. I know that a lot of counterparts talk about that kind of dynamic, like they love their person, but they find the journey very challenging because it is a challenging journey and it's a long one. A lot of counterparts, they come together unhealed, unawakened. There's like, a honeymoon phase, and then there's a separation. And some counterparts, like there's like an on again, off again, where they kind of drift in and out of each other's energy, and others stay in separation for a long time. Like I said, it's a connection that's meant to help you. It can be painful because it's meant to really break you down, so that you can evolve into your higher self and you can change. If you are on the counterpart journey, you would see the change in yourself. You would see, like I'm hearing a metamorphosis. You would see a transformation in your own energy throughout the journey. So let's keep going here. You could be unfazed by this right now, or maybe that's your person. We have victory. Wanting to conquer. This is interesting. So right before I started this reading, I was actually watching Baba Jolie. I was watching a twin flame reading with Baba Jolie, and she was talking about, and I know this, she talks about the runner chaser dynamic and about how the roles kind of have to switch. So the chaser becomes detached and puts all that energy on themselves. And then the runner, the energy switches and they become the one like wanting to conquer. And you could also want a successful outcome here. With that victory card, you could be hoping for a successful outcome between you and your counterpart. We have wishful thinking, deepest desires, wishes coming true, power to manifest. So you could be trying to keep a positive mindset while remaining detached. One more shuffle. We have healing. That's exactly what I was talking about with the twin flame journey. It truly is about the healing you go through. The journey isn't about your person or union. I mean, I'm not saying it's not about them. It's about their journey too. But really, it's about your journey and your transformation and your healing and your purging and clearing and your self-growth and you becoming more self-focused and putting more focus on self-care. All right. I just heard you realize you're the prize. Like, you realize you're the prize. Anyway. I don't know what I want to do here. I kind of just want to see what spirit guides me to here. So let's cut the deck. We have loyalty, support, deep friendship, reliability, trustworthy companion, hot and cold. Oh my gosh, hot and cold, mixed signals, on and off, mind games. And this is giving me that golden retriever energy. So, and I'm not faulting anyone for being that golden retriever energy. I'm a golden retriever. But you also have to work on your black cat energy. And if anybody's wondering what this is, it's a fox. So the fox card in that animal deck that I love so much talks about, in the reverse, it talks about being unsure of your identity. So when the two of you came together, maybe you were both unsure of your own identities. There could have also been some fox behavior, because we did see that pain, that card about pain and toxicity. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I'm not faulting anyone for being a golden retriever, but you also have to have a healthy balance of black cat energy is what I'm hearing. So you could have been very loyal and supportive to this person. You could have been very trustworthy towards them. And they could have been very hot and cold. This is giving me runner energy, hot, cold, mixed signals, on and off, mind games. And then we have communication. So what's that about? You could have been very reliable with your communication and maybe they weren't, is what I'm hearing. It's very chaser energy and runner energy that I'm seeing right here. So maybe you're trying to be that black cat. Again, maybe you're trying to detach. You're trying to detach from the outcome. You're trying to detach from your counterpart. I'm not sure what I want to do here. Maybe that's you. Maybe you're like, I don't know what I want to do about this. I don't know if I want to be on this journey. Because I don't know if I want to look at past or what. Why am I having such a hard time? I feel like someone, you or your person, is having a hard time knowing what to do in this situation, because I've never had this happen to me before where I'm sitting here and I'm like, I don't know what to do. And if the sound cuts off, I posted a video this morning where the sound cut off for 4 minutes and then the sound came back, but it was out of sync with my lips. And then eventually it came back into sync, but that's Mercury in retrograde. So if for any reason I go silent, I'm not going to apologize because it's not my fault. I'm trying not to over apologize anymore, but I am going to, I'm looking at you, Mercury in retrograde. So what do I want to do here? I just kind of want to see, you know what? I'm going to get your energy. I think I'm going to ask about you first. Yes, yes. Sorry. I'm just so proud of you. Glow up, self-love, a new you, big positive change. Yes. And that's the point. You're supposed to be focusing on yourself. You're supposed to be glowing up. And when you focus on self-love and you focus on yourself and you focus on your inner healing and you raise your vibration, you start glowing from the inside out. And you could be having people telling you that you are glowing up. And maybe you don't, maybe they're maybe I don't actually know if people are telling you you're glowing up, but you could have a lot of people telling you that you look different or that you've done some, what have you done with your hair? Is your makeup different today? Are you working out? Why do you look so good? And it's because you're healing, and that's a beautiful thing. I am so proud of you. Yes. Oh my gosh, we have angelic help. So it feels like you're surrounded by your spirit team or your angels right now. Divine connection, divinely guided, divine intervention. So whatever happened between you and your person, it was divinely guided. This is a divine connection, so you're being protected. And I feel like you have a team of support around you right now, even if you can't feel it. So we do have divine intervention, and underneath we have conflict, arguments, opposition, power struggle. So there could have been a power struggle between you and your person. My dogs will be barking for the next little while because they're just in that kind of mood. Um, yes, yes. Let's get one more for you. Let's see you. Ooh, see? Remember the detachment? So we have addiction, toxicity, obsession, attachment, bad habits, patterns, harmful people, situations. And I feel like you're loving yourself enough to release these attachments. You're trying to work on these addictions. You're trying to work on these unhealthy attachments. You're trying to work on these patterns. And you could have been divinely guided. If there was something not right between you and your person, you could have been divinely guided. Or some of us are divinely guided to focus on ourselves, but we don't kind of take the hint. We keep repeating a pattern. So the universe will actually step in and cause a tower moment to guide us to redirect our energy on ourselves. So I do feel like you're working on your shadows right now. You're working on that devil energy. You could be dealing with a Capricorn, or you could be a Capricorn. You're trying to release the obsession or the attachment. Like I said, over the outcome, you're trying to detach. I feel like you're becoming more self-aware with this energy. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. We do have under a spell manifesting in the works. So you could have even felt like you were under a spell, because that's a lot of counterparts. You share, well, no, not a lot of counterparts. As counterparts, you share a soul, and that's why you feel so connected to this person. And sometimes, we can feel like, I've heard people talk about how they just can't let go of their person, or they always feel their energy. You know, outside opinions, you'll hear that that's trauma bonding or limerence or things like that. Those are people who don't understand the counterpart journey. Can I just say that? Counterparts are very rare. But anyway, beautiful energy on your side, my friend. So let's get your person's energy. Let's see what your person is up to. We have a sincere apology. Wow. So this person is thinking about you right now. They're thinking about the past. Maybe they're thinking about some of their own toxic behaviors. We have gift, sincere apology, romantic gestures, kissing up to you. And we have clinging, separation, desperation, infatuation, obsessing, completely hooked, holding on too tightly. And look at that. This is beautiful. Because like I was saying, as you put that focus on yourself and you do the work on yourself, you are connected to this person energetically. And the reader that I love so much, Naked Moon on YouTube, she's Magic by the Moon on TikTok, I believe, but on YouTube, she's Naked by Moon. She often talks about how you don't see the changes with your two eyes. And you don't have to be in the same room as the person for these changes to happen, because you're connected. And she often talks about how as you rise and evolve and ascend and glow up and heal, you're pulling this person up by that red thread. You're pulling them up to learn their lessons. So there is someone here, guided lessons, learning stages, shadow work. There's still hope. So there's someone over here in separation with you who still feels that attachment to you, and you could still feel that attachment to them with this Devil card. But it looks like they're, sincere apology. So they know they need to come forward with a sincere apology for whatever the past behavior was in this connection. And I'll probably look at that with tarot. Clearly they haven't let you go. And they're doing the shadow work that they need to do right now. Guided lessons from their divine feminine. I'm telling you, you're pulling them up energetically. Beautiful. Even if I just heard, even if you don't want to be, like, you could just be trying to detach and work on yourself. And little do you know, you're helping this person energetically. So that's really positive. I just want to get a card in the middle of the both of you for connection. We have the Orca. So orcas could be symbolic. Wheel of Karma. Interesting. So there could be karmic lessons being learned right here. Digging deeper, searching for more, not shallow, connecting deeper. And what did I just say about connecting on a deeper level energetically? You don't have to be with this person. You don't have to be talking to this person. It looks like you're both diving deep, connecting with your, as you do this shadow work, you're connecting with your inner selves, is what I'm hearing. That's amazing. So I just kind of want to look at, I just want to kind of, let me make sure this is straight. I also just started getting a bit of back pain. So you could be having back pain, or your person could have back problems. I have scoliosis. But whenever I get back pain during a reading, I talk about like lack of familial support. So you could be someone who doesn't have a lot of family support, or maybe your person does. Back pain also reminds me of like the 10 of Wands. Like this is a long journey. Anyway, interesting. So let's just, I want to find out a little bit more about your connection. So Spirit, what can you tell me about their connection? And this isn't about how you're, player, runner energy. So you could have felt like this person was playing games with you. I'm looking at you, you little fox. But you could have felt like they were playing games with you. And I'm hearing quit playing games with my heart, which I think is by the Backstreet Boys, but don't quote me on that. I often get song names and who sings them wrong. I have this database of songs that I channel and I hear all the time, but oftentimes I don't know what the name of the song is or who the heck sings them. But you could have been dealing with, like we saw that hot and cold card, you could be dealing with, a Knight of Wands, which is very common in a connection like this. Like I said, there's a runner, there's a chaser. One of you like wants commitment, the other one has a fear of commitment. You could have been dealing with, again, someone who is inconsistent, hot and cold. Let's keep going. Tell me a little bit more about this connection. Someone could have a hand tattoo here. We have happy outcome. I don't want to pull those. I just wanted that one because that was the one I saw. Happy outcome, clarity and truth, spotlight and fame coming to light. So you could also be, I'm getting a rush of heat all of a sudden. Maybe like a lot of eyes are on you right now. But if you are on this journey, the feminine, you both have some sort of mission. You both have some sort of spiritual mission. And I know, being on my mission, how important it is for that divine feminine to find their mission. I've heard from, there's someone who talks a lot about twin flames on TikTok. I think it's Sacred Souls Rising, but again, don't quote me on that. Her name might be Kat. I think she has a British accent. But she talks about how if you truly want to come into union, you need to you need to find out what your mission is. And oftentimes the mission of the divine feminine is to help others on the journey. It doesn't have to be, but a lot of divine feminines go into some sort of light work. Anyway, it does look like there's a happy outcome coming here, something coming to light. And again, spotlight and fame. Perhaps you are working on your mission right now, or you're being called to. I always talk about my own journey where I was kind of, I felt very stuck in my own counterpart journey. And I had this little whisper for a very long time that I should be doing this. And I ignored it. I made excuses. I pushed it away. I ran from it. Runner energy. I ran from it. I ran from that little whisper telling me that I should be creating something. My ego got in the way, my fear, my doubt. And So you could be experiencing that, is what I'm hearing. All right, let's get a few more. Round and round. Eyes on you. Didn't I say the eyes could be on you right now? Didn't I say that? Because I was feeling that heat. Eyes on you. Green eyes or hazel eyes could be symbolic, but look at this. Eyes on you, studying you, looking you up, snooping and spying. So maybe those eyes on you that I was feeling is actually your person. You could have, like I said, I just wanted to grab some cards to find out a little bit more about your connection so that you know if it resonates. Yeah, we have round and round, no changes, wasting time, stuck in a pattern. So you could have been going around. I just talked about how in my connection, my counterpart journey, I became stuck in a pattern, no changes. And this little whisper was like, you should start working on your mission. So it feels like you are breaking out of those patterns right now. And maybe your person was stuck in some of those patterns, not making changes. I feel like they're watching you make changes though, if I'm being honest. Weird, my ears just started ringing. So on the bottom, we do have making a move, and this gives me like Emperor energy, making a move, careful strategy, in it to win it, taking things seriously. So someone that, you know, that you were not seeing any change, any progress, so you had no choice but to focus on yourself, whether you did that voluntarily. Like I said, some people do it voluntarily. They stand in their power and they're like, I need to walk away from this. It's not working. Others of us, myself included, need to be like pushed out of that tower. They need to be divine. There needs to be a divine intervention because they're not listening to their divine guidance. Because they just want to make things work so badly, if that makes sense. But it does feel like whoever you're connected to is starting to make some of these positive changes, and you could be inspiring that. Interesting. There could have been some sort, I just saw the burned bridge, so there could have been some sort of bridge burned here. I'm just going to get two more. Divine intervention, just what I was just saying. And there's no, I don't want you to beat yourself up if, you know, your angels had to push you in the opposite direction or create a tower moment. That doesn't make you any less of a person than the person who listened to the divine guidance and pulled their energy back, okay? We have angelic help, divine connection, divinely guided, divine intervention. And then we have the T. So there could have been other people's opinions in this connection, but I feel like your person is keeping an eye on you, or they've found something out about you, or they're, you know, maybe you have mutual friends, or they're watching you online. Look, career focused, career over love, finances and goals, love in the workplace. Interesting. So you could have worked with this person. But I feel like you're very career focused right now, or you're very self-focused. And if you have had that little whisper, I say it all the time. I'm not trying to pressure you, but I talk about this all the time. If you have that little whisper that you... Field of Dreams is coming to my head for some reason. Maybe the name Kevin is symbolic because I just saw Kevin Costner pop into my head. But if you have a little whisper that you can, like if you feel very stuck in your job right now and you have this tiny little voice inside of you telling you that maybe you could go after your dream, go after it. I always say that I know that you can't just quit your job because in today's world, things are so expensive. The cost of food is just shocking right now. Like it's absolutely shocking to me. And I know you can't just drop your old job and go after your dream, but you can plant seeds towards your dream and transition from your day job to your dream job is what I'm hearing. Now, you could be really focused on career, but the other thing I was hearing is the person you were dealing with in the past, they could have been very focused on their career over this connection. They could have put their career over this connection. So let's see, let's see what you need to know about, I just kind of want to see what you need to know about what's coming in this connection, I guess. Let's look at that. So let's look at what's coming in this connection. We have longing, missing you, nostalgic, regrets and guilt. I told you, suffering and silence. I feel like that's your person. A call to dig deeper, self-awareness, lessons, spiritual reflection, mirroring. Yes. So very transformative energy here. That could also be why I'm feeling the heat. Sacrifice, selfless love, compromising, must give something up. So you could have, I said it in a reading yesterday, that sometimes the greatest act of self-love is to choose yourself. So you could have had, it's reminding me of Hanged Man energy, as you sacrifice trying to make it work to focus on yourself. It could be that whoever you're connected to, wow, it could be whoever you're connected to also has to give something up in order to focus on this connection. We have emptiness, prolonged grief, suffering, loss, deeply affected. So I do feel like your person is deeply affected by the separation here. I feel like you were deeply affected as well. I'm also hearing fragmentation of the soul, which I just want to, now that I'm touching these cards, I'm going to have to use them because that's how I roll. If I think about a deck or I touch it, it's usually an indication that I need to get it. So I'll get you some of these after. But there's a card in here that talks about fragmentation of the soul. Where are you? Where are you? I just heard a song. I was hearing Somewhere Out There by Our Lady Peace. Purple hair could be symbolic. I'm hearing Somewhere Out There by Our Lady Peace. There it is. Fragmentation of the Soul, 29. So September 2nd or February 9th could be symbolic. But this is reminding me of fragmentation of the soul. Significant drama from past, irrational, unexplained fears, checking out in certain situations, overreactions to seemingly small problems. I'm working on my self-worth. For a long time, I deemed myself as someone who didn't deserve love and happiness. I was always angry with my life and pushed love away because I thought I didn't deserve it. All right, so future energy, we do have karmic lessons being learned, the wheel of karma, consequences. So I feel like, you know, both of you learning karmic lessons. I do feel like, however, this person, because you are divinely connected, or sorry, this is a divine connection and you are divinely protected. Whatever this person did to you that was bad, they could be experiencing the karma of that right now. The other thing that sometimes I hear is, you know, when you're trying to make it work with this person and you are this divine being, you kind of have divine protection around you. And it almost, especially if you were going around and around in a circle with this person trying to make it work, they would be protected by your energy. And then when you pull your energy back, that I'm hearing cloak of protection, it's removed from them. And so then they start to experience those tower moments and that karma. So that's something I'm seeing here. We have real love, devoted, blooming romance, heart belongs to one, regrouping, giving it more thought, reconsidering, higher perspective, longing, missing you, nostalgic, regrets, guilt, suffering, and silence, a call to dig deeper, self-awareness, lessons, spiritual reflection, mirroring, projection. So this looks very positive to me. And it may not be, like, you may not be able to see this right now in your current world. But like I said, my favorite reader says, you don't have to be in the same room for these things to happen. Well then, we have third party interference, external factors, and then we have divine masculine. And this is future energy. So it feels like your person, they learned some sort of karmic lesson here regarding a third party interference. Maybe it's a karmic, and karmics don't just have to be love. It could also be a family member, a friend, a coworker. I had a karmic lesson through the form of a contractor I hired. And I know I've talked about it, but I'm going to talk about it again. I hired this contractor and I was in like this golden retriever energy where I thought he was a nice person and he was very friendly and I wanted to give him a chance. And he kept showing me day after day, week after week, that he was unreliable, he was inconsistent, that whatever he touched would break. And my intuition was telling me within a week, something's off here. You need to put up a boundary and you need to either say something to him or you need to fire him. And unfortunately, my partner didn't agree with me. Um, my partner didn't agree with me. He wanted to give him more of a chance. But my inner self was screaming at me that I could see that the same thing was repeating and I needed to, put up some boundaries or something. And again, huge karmic lesson for me. So karmic lessons can come in all shapes and sizes, but we do have Emperor energy here. And remember when I was looking at them and I was talking about you pulling this person up energetically, the Divine Feminine card came out. So it does look like in the future your person kind of conquers some sort of third party interference, whatever that is. Could be the opinions of others, could be family, could be friends, it could have been another person. I know that it's triggering when our counterpart takes up with a karmic, and social media will, people with like limited beliefs and very black and white thinking. I'm on fire right now. So as I'm holding these two cards, so I am hearing karmic lesson. Like if you watch my face readings, you can probably imagine my neck and my face are like blotchy and red right now. Um what was I saying? It happened to me. Like there was a karmic situation and I really had a negative mindset about it and I internalized that and I was like, well, what's wrong with me? What does this person have that I don't have? And I felt very rejected and I felt very bitter for a long time. But looking back, that karmic instilled a lesson that I could not teach that person. So looking back, I'm actually thankful for the karmic lesson. Um, and you'll know, like if you watch me, you know me as a reader, and I'm not judging anybody who does this. If you want to dig into that karmic situation and you want to know what's going on and you want to and you want information about that karmic situation, I'm not your reader. I feel like you should just let the karmic situation do whatever it needs to do. There are other readers who do look into karmic situations. That's not something that I do. I also just want to mention something else. Just be aware or be wary of light workers. I don't even know if I should be saying this, but I'm feeling called to say it. Recently, I've seen light workers kind of judging and attacking other light workers. And again, I just said there are light workers who look into karmic situations. That's their mission. That's what they do. That's fine. I don't judge them. I just don't do that. But recently I saw someone that I did like, a light worker that I did like. I saw them kind of unleash on other light workers in a very judgmental way. And in this, it's in one of my oracle decks. It says that if you like anybody who's doing that is not truly awake. So just be aware, like if you see another light worker kind of hating on other light workers or speaking negatively about them, just be wary of that. Like, I just want to say that I immediately unfollowed this person, just because that's light workers are not supposed to be doing that. The world is fucked up enough as it is, and light workers are meant to raise the vibration, and we should be judging each other's crafts, is what I'm hearing. So just be aware of that. Anyway. All right, I just want to get 2 more cards, and then we're going to get tarot. So 2 more cards, please, Spirit, for what we need to know. Oh my gosh. So we do have inconsistent. So remember I said your person was inconsistent, but then we have rekindling the spark, reconciliation, making amends, second chances. So this could be, it says up in the air, undecided. So you could be undecided if you even want that at this point. But we do have the potential of a reconciliation here, you know, if you both do the work. In this deck, the Twin Flame card also talks about, which I think I saw near the top. Again, you both need to heal if you're going to come back together. I thought I saw it. Where are you, Twin Flame? That's funny. That could be you. Where are you? Oh, where are you? Twin Flame. Right by karmic. Interesting. Purpose to live life separately, learning lessons. Reunion after becoming stronger and awakened. And now my eye is twitching. My eye is twitching. Interesting. And on the bottom, we do have hopeful, optimistic, inspired, clearer headspace. So maybe when you're, you know, maybe the fact that I talked about how I felt when there was a karmic involved in my situation, maybe, you know, maybe sometimes you're undecided if this is something you really want or this is the journey you need, that you want to be on. We all have free will. You never have to choose this journey. I went through a lot of back and forth with whether or not I wanted to choose this journey. But by choosing this journey, remember, it's not about choosing your person. It's about choosing yourself and evolving and growing and healing. Anyway, so as I'm saying it, healing. So maybe, you know, when you're in more of a negative energy, you're undecided if you could ever see reconciling with this person. But when you're healing and you're focusing on self, you still are optimistic about this, is what I'm hearing. So let's just get some tarot for you. What deck do I want to use? I want to use this one. Now, I will mention that I've been hesitant to use these decks. This is by someone called Unseen Tarot, but she recently closed up shop and doesn't create these decks at the moment, so you can't buy them. And whenever I use them, people are like, oh, I wish I could buy that deck. But anyway, I feel called to this deck today. Whoa, we have the high, now I know why I was called to it. We have the High Priestess and the Moon, very divine feminine energy. And we have the Page of Pentacles. So for some of you, like I said, you could be thinking about, you could truly be thinking about starting your own business or being a light worker. You could be highly psychic, highly intuitive. You could be intuitively being called to create here. And I would say follow that whisper, follow that urge. So we do have Eight of Swords in reverse right away. Eight of Swords in reverse is about, it's about new perspectives. With the Eight of Swords, I always hear trauma that can be healed. And then once you I don't even need to look at that. Once you heal that trauma, it can free you. Eight of Swords in reverse is also about releasing self-limiting beliefs, and we're programmed to have those self-limited beliefs, and consuming a lot of social media will also feed those self-limiting beliefs. No, I will look at it. Eight of Swords in reverse. So you could both be having new perspectives here. Eight of Swords in reverse. Freedom, release, taking control, facing fears, empowered, surrendering. Yes. Free yourself from limitations, overcome fear and worry. The pressure that has been put on you all this time is easing. You now have a clearer understanding of what is around you, and you can deal with whatever is hindering your progress. So just remember, if you're having self-limiting beliefs about starting your mission, that's just your ego, that's your fear trying to stop you. Don't let it win, is what I'm hearing. We have Judgment and Awakening. Heed the inner call. I just saw those words from a different deck on the Judgment card. Heed the inner call. Listen to your, like, soul purpose. Anyway, Judgment is also awakening energy. So again, maybe you recently released this person and it's, you know, allowing room for them to have their awakening. But we'll look at both energies. We have the World, so completion of a cycle. Beautiful. You could be at a distance from this person. Emotional distance, physical distance. We have the King of Swords, clarity, and the Hierophant. So it does feel like you have clarity, even though you're detached. You have clarity of what this is, that it's a soul contract. Also, Hierophant, you could be meant to be a spiritual mentor. Wow, that message is coming out heavy in this reading. So take those messages as they resonate. Maybe I'm trying to wake up. Maybe that's dormant within you, and the fact that I'm mentioning it so much, it's like it's waking it up within you. Anyway. I also feel like I'm very focused on you in this reading. I keep talking about you, and it's like I'm not even talking about your person. So in regards to your person, King of Swords, they could be detached right now, but it looks like they also are having clarity about this and seeing the truth of this situation. They could be realizing something about why they fear commitment as well. We have air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We have Taurus. We have the Hermit, a lot of self-reflection. So it looks like you are becoming clear that this journey is really about you and your own self-reflection. And the Hermit talks about searching for soul purpose. So interesting. Anyway, again, I just started talking about you again. I feel like you're putting a lot of energy into yourself right now. The fact that I just keep talking about you. But anyway, let's get into it. So we're going to look at your energy first. So show me the viewer. Oh, we have Justice. So clearly you're seeking balance here. You could be balancing your energy. Page of Swords, you could be learning about something right now. But we do have Five of Cups and Five of Wands. Lots of fives talk about positive changes. So I do feel like you're coming out of this Five of Cups energy where you're feeling sad and you're feeling hopeless and you're feeling the loss of this person. You're coming out of that with the Five of Wands in reverse. That's the end of conflict. What's really interesting is the Five of Wands in reverse talks about how soon an agreement or a truce will be had, which I find really interesting. But anyway, for your energy, you're making lots of positive changes. You're lifting yourself out of this very sad, depressed, hopeless energy. And you're releasing a lot of blockages here with the Five of Wands in reverse. You're I'm seeing the Elephant card. You're overcoming a lot of obstacles in your own life right now. End of conflict, cooperation, agreements, truces, harmony, peace, avoiding conflict. So if there was, I kept seeing conflict between you and your person. So it does feel like right now it's not that you're avoiding. I wouldn't say you're in avoidance, but you know that it's conflicted. You know that it's not good for you. So you're focusing on your own happiness. You're focusing on your own harmony and peace. Very interesting. It also says not to get lost in the comparison game with others. So for some of you, maybe you were comparing yourself to this person or comparing yourself to someone in this person's life. But you're coming out of that, is what I'm hearing. You're balancing your energy, justice, beautiful. You could be studying law. I don't know. So let's look at your person's energy. Whoa. We have the Lovers and the Ace of Pentacles. So it does feel like your person is planting pentacles right now. They're stabilizing in their own energy. They could be, realizing that they see you as a missed opportunity. They're definitely feeling that energetic attachment to you. They definitely feel it with the Lovers card. They could also be making some sort of choice in their life right now. Very positive energy over here as well. They could be focusing on their own self-love. Ace of Pentacles. That's growth. There's growth here. There's stability here. The start of stability. So they've planted some sort of pentacle that's very stable. Security, stable, stability. That's really interesting. So they are working on their own stability right now. They could be working on their job right now. It also talks about taking initiative. So it does feel like this person is taking the initiative to think about this connection, to work on themselves. There could be, because remember this card talks about they're working on a sincere apology. They're diving deeper. They're understanding this connection and they're working on some sort of apology for you. All right, let's see how you feel about this person. How do you feel about this person? Oh, we have Five of Swords in reverse, reconciliation. Look at you. Look. For some reason, I've been hearing that movie and the movie Analyze That so much in my head. Maybe you're like a therapist or you're studying therapy. But I keep hearing you, which I think Robert De Niro says that. You, beautiful. So for how you're feeling about this person, first of all, look at this. We have 555, positive changes. So you are making very positive changes in your life and you're hoping, I feel, that this person is making positive changes as well. The month of May could be very symbolic. But for how you feel about this person, you do want reconciliation. You hope that after enough self-reflection, we have the Hermit on the bottom. So after enough soul searching, after enough healing, after enough self-reflection, maybe even you've heard me talking about finding your soul's purpose. You're hoping that after you find your soul's purpose and you both do the inner work that you need to do, that you can come back together and reconciliate. Five of Swords in reverse. So again, it does feel like you want to reconcile with this person. With the Hermit, for how you feel about them, you could feel that they're very withdrawn from you right now, very isolated. I just keep hearing, I hope they're working on themselves. I hope they're doing the inner work. I hope they're reflecting. Let's get one more for how you feel about them. Ace of Cups. So clearly you still have love for this person, but I just heard I love myself more, which is exactly where you need to be. You shouldn't love this person more than you love yourself because they do share a soul with you. So, but clearly you love this person. But Temperance, you're trying to be patient. You want balance. You're trying to be patient, Temperance. So you're trying to give them the space and time that they need to do the work that they need to do on themselves. Ace of Cups, lots of love there. I feel like you are hoping for a renewal. I keep saying hoping. Trust your inner knowing. Like you could be in that energy where you're not quite trusting your inner knowing, but you're hoping. Trust your inner knowing is what I'm hearing. So let's see how they're feeling about you. How are they feeling about you? We have the Moon in reverse. Let's get one more. I want to keep it even. We have Page of Wands, so they could be feeling inspired to come towards you, especially with this bouquet of flowers. It talks about an offer. It talks about a sincere apology. It talks about a gift. Maybe you have a birthday coming up. But for how they feel about you, Moon in reverse, it does feel like they have some sort of clarity here. I opened right up to it. Clarity, understanding, but also anxiety, fear. So it does feel like this is very interesting. And it goes back to how I always talk about if they wanted to, they would. That's not true. And I always say, think about things in your life that you want to do, but you don't because something stops you. So try and like understand where they're coming from. It's not as simple as if they wanted to, they would. The Moon in reverse talks about fear and anxiety. So they do have fear and anxiety regarding this connection because maybe it really is triggering them to heal, and maybe that's what they've been avoiding. But it also talks about clarity and understanding. But the Moon in reverse talks about not to make any important decisions until the period of uncertainty is over. So right now it feels, I don't even know what that other card is, but right now it feels like your person like wants to take inspired action towards you, but they're being guided not to make any sudden decisions right now until they feel more clear-headed. Again, are they consciously aware of this? I don't know. Maybe for some of them, they are aware that, okay, I'm feeling a little anxious about this. I want to go towards this person, but I want to wait until I have a better idea of what I can offer them. I want to wait until I'm more financially stable. I want to wait until I've done more healing so that we don't repeat a cycle. But for others of you, they could be being divinely guided. So if they're itching to come in, but they don't have enough to offer you, they could be being held back by the same force that's protecting you, is what I'm hearing. So for how they feel about you, King of Cups, that's a lot of love. Your person could also be feeling like they even need to get some counseling before they come towards you to help with some of these shadows and these wounds. But the King of Cups is, I hear other readers talk about how the King of Cups is the highest form of love there is. So clearly this person loves you. Clearly they love you. And they're using their head, King of Cups, for how they feel about you. They're using their head and their heart right now. So again, I feel like your person is aware that they want to talk to you or they want to come towards you, but they're also using their head. And their head is telling them, wait until you have something more substantial to offer them, or wait until you've healed a bit more before going in. All right, let's see what's currently blocking this connection. What is currently blocking this connection? Well, that card just ran away from me. So right away, I want to say runner energy, like avoidant tendencies. 5 of Pentacles in reverse, positive changes. So what's blocking this connection is not the fact that you're making positive changes, but that there needs to be positive changes made before this connection, before you guys can come back together. There needs to be positive change on both sides. And my dear, you're already doing it. Like, again, 555, positive changes on your side. And I feel like your person is getting there. But again, this card ran away from me all the way underneath my table. So So let's see what's blocking this connection. The Magician. So for what's blocking this connection, the Magician, you could have felt, there could have been like manipulation. I was almost hearing that with the King of Cups. Like the reversal of the King of Cups can talk about emotional manipulation. So you could have felt like this person was manipulating you. For some of you, what's blocking this connection could be the fact that you're trying to rush this, or you're trying to rush that manifestation. Froggy in my throat, releasing, cleansing, healing. So clearly one of the blockages here there are still things that need to be released, cleansed, and healed within this connection. The frog also talks about, let me get the book. Let me just look at this froggy, little froggy. The frog also talks about frogs tend to become overworked and undernourished. So something that could be blocking this connection could be the fact that there needs to be more self-care and self-love, or that, you know, maybe your person is overworking or you're overworking. It also talks about forgiveness and release and a heavy load. Didn't I say my back was hurting? So for some of you, what could be blocking this connection is you could still be hanging on to resentment over some of the things that happened here in the past that you need to forgive and release. And please know that when I say you need to forgive and release, remember, forgiveness is not for the other person. It's a gift to you, because by holding on to resentment, that just weighs you down energetically and it keeps you from ascending. And if you are full of if you have a lot of resentment towards this person and a lot of anger, and you truly are like divine counterparts, you're actually sending that energy towards them and they can feel it. So they could even be mirroring that and feeling resentful towards you, if that makes sense. So forgiveness and release, very important to release these blockages I'm hearing. And again, you could have felt in the past that your person was like the fox. I put the fox there for a reason this morning. You could have felt like your person was manipulative. And I just want to remind you that I always say appears manipulative, because sometimes when someone appears manipulative, there are other things going on than just, oh, that person's just a narcissist. There's deeper things going on. And I'll just mention a few of them, which if you watch my readings, you already know what I'm going to say. But sometimes when someone appears manipulative, it's because they have very deep wounding, or they grew up with a parent who had manipulative tendencies and that was learned behavior. Or when I found out that I was autistic in my mid-30s, a lot of people would sometimes assume that I was being manipulative because I had communication problems. So for some of you, like, again, what appeared like manipulation could have been like neurodivergency or difficulty communicating. I know autistic people have a very hard time with communication, and that can come through in many ways. For some of them, it's not a thing anymore, but it used to be called Asperger's. And I don't know a lot about Asperger's, but I know that people who were diagnosed with that, and it was usually men, can come across very cold, very blunt. You know, I'm remembering once where I had a doctor who made me cry. And I thought, she's so cold-hearted, like she shouldn't be a doctor. And I was just like so wounded and in my ego. And then years later, I found out that she had Asperger's, and it all made sense. So that's one way it can come across, like cold, blunt, lacking empathy doesn't mean they don't have empathy. Another thing I talk about is communication problems like alexithymia, not knowing the right words, struggling with communication. I'm someone who struggles with communication. I'm getting better. I've been working at it. Um, but sometimes people who are autistic have a really hard time knowing what words to use, or even now I'm having a hard time communicating now that I'm tapping into this energy, assigning words to feelings, if that makes sense. Anyway, the other thing that could be blocking this connection is you could have been trying to make something happen here before it was meant to happen. You could have been rushing this manifestation. You could have been trying to bring this manifestation in sooner. The only reason I know about this energy is because it's something that I did in the past. I would get impatient and I'd be like, well, I don't want to wait for them to apologize. I don't want to wait for them to reach out. I'm sick of waiting. So I'm just going to reach out myself. So that could be a blockage here too. Although I don't think you're doing that anymore. But in the past, you could have got impatient waiting for this person to reach out, and you could have, you know, it's called chaser energy for a reason. You could have reached out to them trying to rush this process along. It also talks about low willpower. So one of you could have very low willpower when it comes to something. All right, so again, more positive changes need to happen. And I feel, and more self-reflection. All right, so let's, you could have a black animal. I felt like that was a black hare. Maybe it's not. Anyway, you could have a black animal like a black cat or a black dog. Black bunny. Maybe you I don't know why I just heard maybe you befriended a crow. Some people befriend crows. Crows never forget a face and they can hold a grudge. So maybe holding grudges, the fact that I just said that, maybe there's some grudges that are being held on to here. Anyway, what can you do to, what can you do? What can you do to help this energy flow? What can you do? I just heard keep doing what you're doing. Respect your boundaries. 7 of Wands, I just saw. Focus on yourself. We have judgment. So heed the inner call. Seriously, what can you do to help this connection? Judgment. Continue to awaken. Continue on your own awakening journey. Focus on your own awakening journey. I'm hearing release the outcome. Self-evaluation, which you're already doing. Finding your purpose. Finding your soul's purpose. Heed the inner call. That's something that you can be doing, which is why I was talking about it so much, I guess. And we have the 7 of Swords in reverse. So again, releasing resentment. What are you avoiding? What are you running away from? And oftentimes in this kind of dynamic, and again, my favorite reader said this once ages ago, and it blew my mind when she said it, because I was looking at my person as they're just avoiding, they're just running, they're just this, they're just that. And she said, but what are you avoiding in your life? And she used such simple examples, and I was like, oh my gosh, those are the things I'm avoiding. So what can you do to help this connection? What like inner wounds are you still avoiding facing? What in your everyday life do you avoid looking at? And it can be as simple as, I'll use myself as an example. I know my closet's a mess. I know it's a mess. I know I have things in there that I don't need. And every day I walk by that closet, my little inner voice says, you should really clean your closet. You should really take time to clean your closet. Another example, I bought a new shelf, which is now built, that I wanted to start organizing my tarot cards because I have boxes everywhere and I'm not using half of my decks because they're not organized. And every day I'm like, I should really do that. And I find something else to do instead. So what are you avoiding? What are you running away from? What can you do to help this? Stop running away from that little voice within you that's whispering that you have a soul mission, that you should be doing mission work. Stop running away from that. Stop denying that. What else? Let's look in the book. Let go of any regret you have. Live more honestly with a renewed conscience. If you have been weighing with something heavy on your heart, try to find a way to deal with that, even if it has to do with this person. If it's weighing heavily on your heart, am I suggesting that you message this person and tell them, this is weighing heavily on my heart? No. But you can do other things to get those things that are weighing heavy on your heart off, like to relieve that pressure by journaling, by writing them a letter and, burning it on the full moon and releasing it, or burying it. You never have to send that letter. Also, what I was talking about, which is releasing any regret you have over the past. Instead of I understand this mindset of, I wish this had never happened. I've wasted so much of my time. You need to release that mindset, because when you truly look at yourself, this hasn't been time wasted, because with this person's behaviors and how they treated you and the cycles and the patterns that were triggered within this connection, it's actually freeing you. And truly look at yourself. Has it been a waste of time? Have you learned lessons? Have you grown up? Have you learned how to love yourself? Have you prioritized self-care more? Then that's not time wasted. Does that make sense? Anyway, change your approach. So however you were approaching this in the past, which I feel like you're already doing it, change your approach towards this. So if you did always reach out, change your approach and just keep focusing on you. Let's see what your person can work on. What can your person work on to release these blockages or to unblock this connection? We have 9 of Pentacles in reverse, or sorry, 9 of Swords in reverse, and Ace of Swords. So what's really interesting is that this is saying that one of the things your person can do is to actually communicate and alleviate some of their stress by communicating with you. But again, let's take that off the table for a minute. What else can they do? They can have realizations, and clarity about themselves. I'm just going to look at the 9 of Swords in reverse. With the 9 of Swords in reverse in love, it says, getting help from partner, alleviate stress by sharing. And it's funny because you have a very similar energy. What's weighing heavy on your heart? I'm telling you to release it, but I'm telling you not to run to this person and release it to your person right now, because I don't think you're meant to be reaching out to this person right now. But it's your person's advice is to get something off of their chest by sharing it with you. And I feel like eventually, once your person does enough healing, you could actually help them in a lot of ways, because clearly you know about this journey, you know about healing. Anyway, so what can your person do to help this connection? Recovery, learning to cope, facing life. So facing these shadows, facing these things they've been avoiding. And remember what I said about you. What are you avoiding? I know that automatically white truck. I know automatically, we think we're not avoiding this, but I bet you in other areas of your life, there's some avoidance, because you and this person mirror each other, right? So if you look closely, again, it can be as simple as avoiding doing your laundry, or avoiding oh, there's a pile of I'm just looking around my room. There's a pile of crap over in that corner. I really should deal with that. I think that after this reading, I need to clean my room. I think that's what this reading is telling me. Finding help for mental health issues. What did I say about the King of Cups? And perhaps they're seeking counseling or thinking about seeking counseling. Anyway, that's what your person can work on. And it's on page 123, so they can focus on coming more into alignment. All right. So I want to look at this person's current intentions because I always do that. So let's look at their intentions towards you right now. I said right now. Page of Swords. So right now they're just gathering information. It's funny because I didn't say future intentions. I said right now. I said, what are their intentions right now? And we have the Page of Swords. So right now it looks like their intentions are to learn more about themselves, to gather more information before communicating. So it's like right now you can see this person is kind of waiting to make a move. They could even be watching you, like their intention could be to watch you. Like if you're already doing your mission work, for example, maybe they're already watching you and learning from you. But this person, like the main thing, they want to gather more information and learn more before coming towards you. Yeah, we have the Page of Pentacles on the bottom. So it feels like this person wants to, their intentions are to dedicate themselves to some self-discovery and to gaining more information and to healing before coming towards you. Let's look at future intentions. Future intentions. We have the Queen of Swords and the King of Pentacles. So it does look like future intentions. This person wants to... I just heard they want to give you what you're worth. So you could have put boundaries in place here, or you could have said, like, I know my worth, I know what I deserve in a connection, and this isn't it. So I feel like their future intentions are to, how can I put that? I feel like whatever you told them they want to provide here, King of Pentacles on the bottom. So it does feel like this person wants to protect and provide for you in the future. King of Pentacles, but right now, Page of Pentacles. So for future intentions, they do want to come in very stable, protect and provide. They want to, again, the Queen of Swords talks about high standards. So it feels like this person wants to meet your standards, if that makes sense. And the Queen of Swords also talks about authenticity. So it feels like this person wants to speak authentically to you and no longer like, I'm just thinking about that Magician in reverse. Like maybe, again, this person had a hard time communicating in the past, or they had like a manipulative way of communicating. They want to speak to you from a more authentic place. They want to be honest with you. They want to be fair with you. I also feel like they want to respect your boundaries as well. So we'll look at future actions, although it may not, I just heard it may not be soon, but we'll look at their future actions. Future actions, please, Spirit. What is this person going to do in the future? What action are they going to take? King of Swords. Wow. Four of Cups in reverse. Clarity, awareness. Being more active in love. King of Swords. Honest conversation here. They want to bring in truth and clarity. They want to be more active in this connection. I feel like they see you as a missed opportunity for sure. We have the Knight of Wands and the Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands, there is something about boundaries here. So they want to respect your boundaries in the future. I've also heard of the Seven of Wands, like preparing for a conversation, because you see this archer going to take aim, and what comes next? Eight of Wands, communication, conversation. I feel like this person wants to communicate that, something about their defensiveness, something about their avoidance or inconsistency here. But Knight of Wands talks about having the confidence to take action towards you. I'm just hearing to shoot their shot. I don't know. It came out with this King of Swords, though, so it feels to me like there's a message here about this person wanting to be very honest about the fact that in the past they were inconsistent and maybe they were a bit defensive. Seven of Wands is also fighting for what you want. Who cares what anybody else says? Who cares about other people's opinions? Again, I don't feel like this communication is soon. We have Hanged Man energies, so I feel like it's still suspended, if that makes sense. So again, just keep doing what you're doing. Let's look at future potential here. Future potential. We have Six of Wands, victory and success. Victory and success. We also have the Tower in reverse, which I'll look in my book, but that reader that I love so much talks about how the Tower in reverse to her symbolizes eternal work. So it feels like this person wants like future outcome. They do the inner work. You both do the inner work you need to do to have a successful outcome here. I believe, though, that the Tower in reverse talks about making adjustments in love. So you're both making adjustments here in the future outcome, and there is a successful outcome here. Knight of Pentacles on the bottom. Four of Swords in reverse. So future outcome, this person slowly, remember I said I don't feel like it's soon. They slowly come out of isolation, release from isolation. Four of Swords in reverse. Slowly, slow and steady, Knight of Pentacles, building a foundation, which Four of Swords in reverse, reigniting passions. And then we have the Empress. That's beautiful. In love, the Empress talks about a healthy, sensual, committed relationship. But let's just look at the outcome here. This person slowly coming out of isolation, awakening, slowly reigniting passions, you being that divine feminine, you being that Empress, you attracting this in, not chasing it, you nurturing yourself. Beautiful. All right, so I want to get a few, you know what? I'm going to get originally, before I started this reading, I was also feeling called towards this deck, which is my favorite deck. Well, one of my favorites. I just want to get a card of advice for you. We have Clean It Up. Yes, so this card talks about how you're both responsible for cleaning up what's on your side of the street. You can't clean up this person's mess. They can't clean up yours. So you're both meant to be cleaning up your own like patterns and cycles here. You're meant to be cleaning up your own energies. Anyway. We have Message in a Bottle. So pay attention to the signs. Oh gosh. I feel like communication is being blocked right now, if I'm going to be honest, by a higher power. But anyway, pay attention to the signs and synchronicities the universe is sending you about this connection. One thing I will mention is if you're seeing a lot of signs and synchronicities that make you think of your person, that could be, for some reason I just heard the word indicative. I don't know where that word came from, because you know I don't use words like that. But it could be indicative. Maybe your person uses big words, or you do. That could be a sign that you need to focus on your divine masculine energy. You could also ask for a very clear sign from the universe about your person. Again, make it very clear, very precise. I don't know why a cactus always comes to my mind. You don't have to use a cactus, but ask for like a very clear sign if you want to. And it also, that talks about communication, you know, that there is going to be communication here. All right, so what advice do you need? Look, we have building blocks. So again, there's something about you both cleaning up your own energies and working on your own foundations so that you can come together and rebuild a foundation that will stand the test of time. You can rebuild that tower, right? Making adjustments in love. I usually take the bottom of the deck. This could be what, you know, what's being hidden here, what you don't see coming. A beautiful work in progress. This is a beautiful work in progress. So this talks about solidifying relationships by building them on foundations of honesty, humility, clear communication, Queen of Swords, King of Swords, clear communication, and a genuine desire to know one another. You are moving towards laying the groundwork for a relationship with the firm footing that it will ensure it can withstand any storm. Long-lasting relationships are repaired and strengthened. You and the other person are stronger, wiser, and more powerful together than apart. But anyway, let's get you a card of advice. Let's get you a card of advice. So what advice do you need to hear about this connection? What advice do you need to hear about this connection? Holy cow. Sorry. Sorry. Oh my goodness. I shouldn't apologize for my reaction. That just kind of threw me for a loop. Okay, very important advice. Can I just say something right now? Because I was talking about this in my Soul Tribe reading yesterday. 4, 7, 8. So here's my advice to you before I even look at these cards. I already know what they're about, but 4, 7, 8. So if you are feeling triggered, if you are feeling emotionally reactive, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if your internal world feels chaotic, try the 4, 7, 8 method. It's a breathing technique. I can't believe those came out because I was just talking about this yesterday. 4, 7, 8. Please don't hold your breath too long though. But if you're feeling triggered, take a deep breath in for 4 seconds, hold it for 7 seconds, and then breathe out for 8 seconds. And do that until you feel steady and grounded, okay? There's a reason that came out. There's a reason I was just talking about that yesterday. The 4, 7, 8 method. So again, breathe in for 4, hold it for 7, release it for 8. And do this until you feel centered and grounded. And that could be very important because this could be a connection that triggers you. Or you could find yourself feeling this person's energy one day and all of a sudden you're feeling anxious. Do this exercise and do it as many times as it takes to calm down. That also goes if you're feeling over emotional. Not over emotional. If you're feeling emotional, I shouldn't even say over emotional. I used to get, I got told that all the time. You're too sensitive. Anyway. But the reason I went silent is because this card reminds me of the counterpart journey. And we do have a cheetah on it, which to me is very symbolic of divine masculine energy. But I will read you the message of these cards. I believe this one talks about learning the important dance, the energetic dance between two people. Sometimes you lead, sometimes the other person leads, but it's important that you can't always lead. You can't always give. And this person can't always be passive, and it can't be the other way around either. There needs to be an energetic dance between the two of you with the community card. But anyway, let me read you these cards, and then I'm just going to get a few messages from your person. Let's do the one that made me go quiet. I just didn't even know what to say when that came out. Endurance, strength, the long haul. You are calling in a harmonious relationship that can stand the test of time, just like that rebuilding foundation. So whatever foundation you two had in the past couldn't stand the test of time. It wasn't built on a strong foundation. And all of the inner work you're doing and all of the inner work this person is doing, it's creating an environment so that when you come together, a plumber could be, whoops, I just spit. I just saw a plumbing truck drive by. But it's so that when the two of you come together, you can build this very strong foundation that can't be easily triggered. It can't be easily shaken. It'll be strong and lasting. For better or worse, listen to this. Like, this is why I went silent. For better or worse, as you ride the ups and downs and even strain, break yourself, and are remade in new growth, you are being redeemed by the power of regeneration. Harmony does not mean there will never be a wrong note played, but that the relationship is marked by endurance and dedication to overall unity. A new song can be written, an instrument can be tuned, and the symphony of love will play on. Listen with your heart. So listen to your heart, okay, when it comes to this connection. And I believe the community card talks about accepting that everyone has flaws. I think this card says it is very important. Like, there's nobody perfect in this world. We all handle our triggers and our traumas differently. Some of us want to stand up and face them head on. Others want to avoid, and we shouldn't be so easily passing judgment on others. Anyway. So, the community card. You're discovering the essential qualities that you share with another and perhaps also that you don't share. There are times when you follow and the other person leads, and times when you take the lead and the other person follows. Again, it doesn't have to just be one of you giving, and the other taking. There needs to be like an energetic dance. The appearance of this card points to the importance of learning the proper dance between you and another, accepting the truth that everyone has flaws as part of that dance. Yet, you are also being asked to be aware of the dynamics you don't want to repeat. So whatever you don't want to repeat, like, again, I'm hearing like chasing and running, but giving. Like, it's important that this person also takes the lead sometimes, if that makes sense. You're in a perfect place to make changes in order to experience the best version of who you can be together. So that's your advice. And let's get you some channeled messages from your person. Inner turmoil. Doubting and questioning decisions, June 3rd, July could be symbolic, June 3rd, March 6th. Doubting and questioning decisions, fight between the mind and the heart, feeling worried, conflicted, agitated, and unhappy with life's choices. Triggered. I am bounded physically, mentally, and spiritually. I feel there is no way out from where I am. I feel imprisoned because of my own doing. Look at this card with the chains around the heart. I'm trying to fight my inner demon, but it's just so difficult at times. All right, so what does your person want to say? You could be dealing with Sagittarius. Wow, I'm going to take that one. Wordless. What was I was talking about, I brought up communication for a reason. And again, I will tell you, there's been times where I've told you this before, where everything in my soul has wanted to send a message. Everything in my soul has wanted to communicate, but I feel internally blocked from doing it. I have this very vivid memory of me a couple months ago. I had my phone out. I was communicating with someone. I had all of these things that I wanted to say. I had all of these words swirling around in my head. I couldn't figure out how to put them together, piece them together, didn't know what to say. I sat there for a good hour, typing a few words, deleting, typing a few words, deleting, typing a few words, deleting. And then in the end, I think I wrote one tiny little sentence back to this person, even though everything in me wanted to say so much more. I'm just going to get a few more. Difficult differences. Drinking the Kool-Aid. Oh my gosh. So the opinions of others. And two more. Denial of connection. So again, your person could have denied this connection, and Gemini. And fateful encounter. So they do feel this was fated. The moment I laid eyes on you, I knew. I can't explain how I felt, but I knew I was meant to find you. And honestly, it's hard to explain to people how that feels. I've tried to explain it, how that feels. I think I have explained it in a reading, how I felt when I met my counterpart. It was like I lost my, like I thought I was crazy. I was like, why am I feeling all of this over someone I just saw? Like I didn't even talk to them yet. Well, no, there was like one line of communication, but anyway. So union and in sync, working in perfect rhythm with each other, feeling seen, heard, valued, respected, and cherished, fully present with that person, mind, body, and spirit. I want to commit to you. I want to hold your hand in sickness and in health. I want to walk into the sunset with you and never look back. I need to release certain commitments so I can fully commit to you. So there are still things they need to release here. Wordless, 11, January 1st could be symbolic, or August. Words are jumbled or words were left unsaid, unable to speak or unwilling to say the truth, too much in their head is unable to express their emotions rationally. There is so much for me to tell you, but I am unable to express myself in a rational way, so I'd rather keep quiet. This could also be someone who in the past, when they spoke impulsively, it came out like that Magician in reverse. It came out manipulative, or it came out a little bit toxic. So this person would rather say nothing right now than to make this worse. Gemini, 84, so 1984, 1980, August 4th, April 8th. I wasn't always there when you needed me the most. Instead of trying to comfort you, I would jump ship because I couldn't deal with my emotions, let alone yours. And someone who doesn't know how to deal with their own emotions can become very uncomfortable by somebody else's emotions if they don't even know how to deal with their own. Denial of connection, March 4th, April 3rd. Too fast, too soon. There could have been another person involved. Not ready for the deep connection. Wrong timing. Can't or won't commit. Afraid of hurting you or hurting themselves. I realize there's something between us. And I'm hearing past energy, but I didn't have the time or capacity to understand it. Everything was too much too soon, and I had other things I needed to deal with. Drinking the Kool-Aid, 52, May 2nd, February 5th, or ages. Listens to others and disregards their own feelings. Knowingly goes along with other people's plans and ideas without thinking about their own well-being. I followed blindly to whatever everyone else was telling me. They made me believe our connection wasn't real and that it was just a waste of my time. Yes, I know now that was untrue. And I understand that because our friends and family want what's best for us. And I had the people closest to me, I had them tell me, there are other fish in the sea. That's just a waste of your time. I don't know why you're investing your time and energy in that person. They'll never change. It's just toxic. My best friend told me that she never wanted to hear me mention spirituality or my counterpart journey ever again. She told me that 2 years ago, and I've never mentioned it again. Is our friendship the same? Nope. But it's not their fault that they don't understand this type of connection. They want what's best for us. And if they see us being hurt, they think that's not what's best for you. But I do feel like other people's opinions got in the way of this connection. Whether that was on, it could have been both sides. I followed blindly to whatever everyone else was telling me. They made me believe our connection. Did I just read that? I already read that, didn't I? I already read it. What am I doing? I was like, am I having deja vu or did I just read that? I think I just read it. We have difficult differences. One awakened while the other is unawakened. That's one of the most difficult differences there is because you awaken first and then you have to wait for your person to wake up. And they don't wake up at the same time as you. Other difficult differences where with counterparts, there's usually difficult differences. There's, difference in age, difference in religious background, difference in, like beliefs, different attachment styles. There's always differences between you, different lifestyles, differences of opinions and ideas in love, differences in status, money, power, culture. One awakened, the other is unawakened. Our differences drove us apart January 2nd, February 1st, or December. It angered me that you didn't understand where I was coming from. It still pains me that we can't come to an agreement even if we love each other. And we have Sagittarius, 90. So September. I said a lot of things I should not have said. I said them out of anger and fear. Sometimes I say things without even thinking. What did I say about that other one, the wordless? I'm sorry for hurting you with my words. All right, my friends, I'm going to leave that there. I am sending you lots of love and light, and I will see you next time. Bye.